5 years later, I think he made the right decision. He went full in on the business. Morning, Steve. I got two extras.
Sorry I'm late. Dwayne. How's it feel?
We're just gonna have a stack of phones lined up.
Perfect.
All right, so here, real quick,
I'm just gonna phone.
while we got
9 phones in case.
while we got the break, we will ask more questions
Hi,
here.
Dina.
So you've got the right information, but with all that, they're going to start to kind of drift. So that's the owner of the company. He was starting out. He was in college and he needed a way to pay for it, so he started PMS, Paver Maintenance Specialist. Not sure he thought about the name at the time, but it stuck, and so here we are. But it came to a point when you start a business where it started to grow, and he had a choice to make. Do you know what that choice was?
I don't know.
Stay in college or keep building the business. Looking around, you'd say he probably made the right choice, right?
It looks like it. Looks like he's rich. Filthy rich.
Well, hopefully you'll make him richer. I would literally answer that way if somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you can contribute to that.
I've had people say that. That's why I said gold bars.
But so then when you're getting that, and then ask questions like, so what do you think of the place, or something, just kind of keep them engaged.
Sure.
All right, keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so, obviously a tough decision came along, and he's in college, and how do you, especially nowadays, but back then, how do you think someone like that is going to get through school? They got to obviously pay for it, right?
Daddy's money.
Yeah. Well, maybe
No,
for
they're
some
lucky you
people,
gotta
but
pay
for
for it,
Steve, in
yeah.
his case, he actually started the business to try to help out pay for his schooling. So I'm sure you can imagine that'd be a really tough decision. So obviously he made the right decision to go all in on the business, and here we are today. I mean, what did you guys happen to think about the place after we did our walkthrough? And
It's impressive. I haven't seen anything like it.
Yeah, one of the first ones I've seen indoors.
yeah, it's gonna be the only one you're gonna see in this area for sure. There's nothing like this. So we'll kind of talk a little bit more about that, of really what Steve's intention was behind that. But I had met Steve when I moved back from Florida a couple years ago. I met him in a Bible study and was looking for work, and he was looking to hire someone, and so I came along here, and really, I mean, the last couple years being here, this is the best company I've ever worked for. So the company culture, the other staff members, working with the crew and everyone, it's been the best company I've worked for. So I'm really excited to be here with you guys today and kind of go through our situation, or how we're going to build this patio for you. So that's a little bit about the foundation here.
Cool.
So now a few things to look for when you're obviously working with a company. Are they fully licensed and insured?
Hope so.
Yeah.
Would you want to work with a company that's not fully licensed and insured?
I thought everybody was.
That's how you run a business. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you guys want someone out at your house that's fully licensed and insured?
I don't want the liability.
That's
Honestly,
right.
sounds like a headache.
Yeah. Well, we are fully licensed and insured, so you don't have to worry about any of that, of our guys coming out there. Now, another one is, do they have an established location? I mean, as you can see here.
Obviously.
As you can see here, correct. We're not going to be getting up
Pause for
and...
1 second. Does anyone know what I'm going to say
Yes,
right now?
I'm not saying we are fully licensed and insured. Yeah, I caught myself.
Yep, we, yep.
Go ahead.
We.
Don't.
He said they.
No, so these are written as questions in the pitch, but when we read them, we actually go, we are fully licensed
Right.
and insured. You understand the importance of the license and insurance. Why is that important to you? Cool. But we do have an established location, as you can tell. So because if you read it like a question, it kind of comes, it's weird to
Well,
come
I
back
got
to.
his
the
reaction. He was like, well, yeah, I want someone. Yeah.
Right.
That's when I instantly was like, dang, yeah, I said that wrong.
Go ahead.
Anyways, we do have a direct relationship with the manufacturers, as I talked about earlier when we were walking around. But
You mentioned at the house too.
yeah, and I'll explain, further in a little bit why that's so important. I know I've mentioned a few times now, but there's a very valuable lesson to that. So we are specialized, obviously, in this industry only, too. Now, you wouldn't want, say, like your dentist coming out and putting in this patio for you, would you guys?
You've never met my no. No,
I got a
absolutely
great
not.
dentist.
It's a silly question, Parker.
Absolutely. You'd want someone that knows what they're doing in this, right? And then also, we do not subcontract. I'll explain that in a little bit too of why that's so important. Stick around for that one. But also, we do offer financing. If that's something you guys are interested in.
We might.
Let's
just
give a
depends.
0 maybe.
Yeah.
We don't like to pay interest on anything.
Cool.
No,
He
that's
said he's
fine.
real.
Alrighty. Well, so if I remember correctly, when I came out to the house, you said you saw a bunch of the cars driving by and you saw the PMS logo. That's how you heard about us,
I could
right?
have sworn I saw your car at least 5 times in the last
Yeah.
handful of months. I feel like I
Okay.
see them everywhere.
And you don't forget that name, do you? PMS.
No.
No.
Yeah. Well, did you happen to have a chance to like look us up online, look
Oh,
at any
yeah.
of our reviews or
He's
anything?
been stalking you for like 2 months. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Steve, he actually lives in Shelby.
I drove by his house a couple times.
Yeah, I checked out his patio. He's got the sandbox. It's really cool.
Awesome. So you guys are pretty well familiar with us then, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Cool. What did you happen to think when you saw those reviews?
I thought they were pretty good, man. To be honest with you, a lot of high ratings. It was good.
Yeah, so we're here, I would say.
4.8 on Google, almost 5 on Facebook. I'd say that's pretty good, especially in today's age, right? Would you agree?
It's a good reputation.
What do you think it takes to keep a reputation like that?
You gotta do good work.
Yeah. Follow your word. Good work.
Yeah, do what you say you're gonna do.
Absolutely. Those are very important, for sure. You want to have a product that, backs up what you're saying, right? Well, there's really a few things that, really go into the reputation. One being, like I said, good work, but using the proper material. So, having Class A material, good quality material. Now, obviously, too, reinvestments back into the company is going to be a good one. So, what Steve has really done with that is kind of a couple things. Reinvesting back into like the support staff, so having people in our office, having Dina working with reaching out to the clients for finances, having Jeremiah and Abby answering the phones, making the appointments, stuff like that. But then also too is having the investments back into the company with the equipment that we're using.
Cool.
So-
I've seen you guys got a lot of equipment here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, every house is going to be different. So, in your case, you've got the tight fence access. So, in order for us to be able to get back there, we have to have the micro equipment to be able to move around back there.
Trampolines.
So we're gonna have to rip the fence down.
Yeah.
Use a trampoline and just.
Just bounce it all over there, just one brick at a time. So you can see how reputation is, very important
Yeah,
for a
for sure.
company, right?
One of the bigger things for us.
Cool. Well, so then how much you guys plan to pay?
You're asking me. Low.
Now, you said that was one of your most important ones earlier to you, Cam, of
Pause
making
for a
it
second. Pause for 1 second.
They did 3 tiers.
So on the last slide,
I forgot something.
if you can, what are our major commitments on
Steve,
that
I have your
slide?
sound off because I'll turn you back up. I had to put it off because you and Dwayne next to each other were like creating like an echo
reverb. You
effect.
can reverb.
But I just turned your volume up if you want to say something.
No, you can see, so once you do the 3, you could say, after the guys, the material, and then you have the reinvestments back in the company. So
You can see, but you can't be
you
the
can see
cheapest.
we can never be
yes,
the cheapest.
definitely.
Does that make sense?
So that's the final commitment. Before we get there,
Reputation is good.
so first thing is, hey, you guys, in today's world, with all the contractors out there, everything reputation is pretty important, isn't it?
Yeah, to us, it's very
Perfect. So did you get a chance to check out our reviews at all?
We saw you on Google.
Okay, so you probably memorized all of them. Well, but you saw we had 4.9 out of 5. Tons of reviews out there. Anywhere you look, every different accolade you can find on here. Fent. All of these are the manufacturer certifications. NCMA. Anywhere you look, you'll kind of see that's a good reputation, right?
Yeah.
What do you think it takes to keep the reputation?
good projects. I mean, installing good patios, good work, doing exactly what you're gonna say.
Absolutely. Now, there's three things that we found that really help us do that. Now, when you got into, so you had the right points there, but when you got into investments into the company, all you did was sound expensive. I didn't really hear what it did for me. So make sure, so investments back into the company. You don't want your yard completely destroyed when we come out, right?
No.
So a lot of guys will use a big bulldozer or huge equipment. We've got what's called micro equipment. Have you seen this before?
Maybe I've seen it, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
So the guys are gonna lay down plywood. They're gonna bring in machines that are small enough to get through your gate, so we're not running a bulldozer through your front yard, tearing everything up. So when we leave, other than a new patio, it pretty much looks like we haven't been here.
Cool. Leave us with another.
Yeah, I always say the goal is for us is when we come in there, it almost looks like we airdropped your patio and nothing
Right.
else was disturbed.
Cool. And then Steve's exactly right. So I can't do now, because what I'm doing is I'm getting the commitment that reputation's important. I'm getting the commitment that we have the reputation that they just said was important. And then I'm getting the commitment that because of the things I have to do to keep that reputation, I can't be the cheapest. So I'm building myself up for the next page, which is our price conditioning. All right, go ahead.
Can I interject just one thing on this, which I was really nice to hear, is he softened it up a little bit real quick by doing like almost, you brought up our culture. That is a huge asset to anyone's home we go into. And you did it in a soft intro way to where you mentioned names like Jeremiah, you mentioned Abby, you mentioned myself, because those are people they're going to interact with.
Right.
So you almost did a soft, very casual intro already to our company and the other people that we're dealing with. But I loved it. I liked that part. I really did.
And you're referring to him by name rather than the office is going to call you, our
Exactly.
installation
And that
department's
was-
gonna
Like
call
making it
you.
personal and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So, thank you, anyways.
Cool,
Good
thank
point.
you.
All right, so now
Yeah,
we
so
move into.
obviously you could see that we're not gonna be the cheapest, right?
No, I mean, come on, I walked around there. I can't imagine. Honestly, I mean, you gotta show them this large and got overhead stuff.
Cool. Well, that's gonna lead me into the next one of how much did you plan to pay? Obviously, that's
Hopefully not a lot, Parker.
Cam, I'm here to help you out with that. So, obviously the cost going into a patio, brand new installation, it's gonna vary for every client. So, in your guys' situation, there's gonna be multiple things like material, the scope of the job, overhead, promotion, stuff like that. Have you guys ever done any like digging in the backyard before?
Not really, honestly. I mean, I think Stu likes to plant every once in a while, but
Okay. Does he complain about it's hard on his back and a lot of digging?
Stu can complain about everything under the sun. So, rhetorical question. No, I don't think so.
Very cool. Well, really, obviously, what we're digging into is going to really play an effect into this. So, in certain areas, the soil content is more like clay. So obviously, that's going to be a little heavier, holding in all the water. Sometimes we come across tree roots, rocks. So really, we don't know what we're digging into until we start digging into it. Does that kind of make sense? Sure. Absolutely. Well, that was kind of my part too when I came out to the house of taking a look at the soil content, getting a lay of the lands, really the access points as we were talking about the benefit of our micro equipment being able to get into those tight spaces, the overhead of the company and stuff like that. So make like a spectrum here for you. So yeah, you really could have a lot of different variables here. Do you have any idea of how many companies in this area could do a job like this?
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot. And just on Google, I mean, we scrolled for a couple minutes, so I'm guessing at least like 40 or 50.
Yeah, there's about a few hundred companies say they could do this.
Guess we need to get some more quotes, huh, Stu?
Now, let me ask you. You say you want to get more quotes. Do you think that you would ever get two of the same quotes?
No. I mean,
You wouldn't expect that, would you?
I assume after they vary.
So you're gonna get a whole wide, spectrum of a bunch of quotes. Well, let's just say we took 2 of those here. Yeah, you made your list of your 40 companies and you narrowed them down. Well, let's start here on the low ends and, Chuck in the truck. He's kind of like the neighborhood, repairman, handyman. Yep, he does a little bit here, mostly yard work and but then you also found out that he's interested in doing your patio. So you get a quote from him and he walks you through, shows you all of his brochures. You pick out your colors, and he tells you about how much it's going to be. He also gives you a lifetime guarantee. Okay. Well, he's going to be down over here for the same patio build that we're doing. It's going to be about $15,000 per Chuck. Okay. Now, on the complete opposite end of that, have you ever heard of a big company like English Gardens out on Hall Road?
Actually, yeah, I've been there before.
Yep.
Okay. Well, big company like them, they've got multiple different, avenues, people that are working on this. So they got a project manager, an engineer. They've got their whole the crew design and all that. So multiple people are going into that. How much do you think it's going to cost for them to do a patio like this?
Well, you're talking them up, so that guy's chucks in 15 grand for a project like ours, and maybe 20, 25. What do you think?
Yeah.
You would think, you hope at least. It's going to be more like $45,000 for that one.
45. Wow, that's
45,000.
Elizabeth.
So you see here, we've got a wide spectrum,
It's huge.
wide range.
And this is a similar size patio, the same.
For the same exact patio, everything that you're going to be getting, same material, same everything. So obviously we've got a wide spectrum here. Now I got great news for you guys. I'm never going to be that much. I also can't be that cheap. I'm going to fall somewhere right here in the middle.
Okay.
All right, real quick. Couple of things, not bad, just smooth out a couple of things. So, before the internet, how did people find a contractor, Cam?
Owls. No, Yellow Pages, right?
Sometimes owls, yeah. Yellow Pages, word of mouth, very local though. Back then, a guy would get a full page ad in the Yellow Pages, that was 5 miles, so he might get 2 of them. But there was only 3 or 4 other guys in that same area back then. So the smart way to shop was what?
Get 3 quotes.
Right, get all 3 guys in your market out, and you saw everybody, and by the way, their prices were gonna be pretty close to the same, right? But if you got hundreds of companies out there, like now, because the internet made the world a lot smaller, didn't it? So now you got a guy from Monroe up here quoting your job, you got a guy from Port Huron quoting your job, the world's smaller. So if you got 100 quotes, what do you think the numbers would look like?
All over.
Yeah, all over.
From crazy low to crazy high, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that. See, what I'm doing is creating a problem so that they're trying to figure out where they're gonna land. So when I give them this, I'm actually helping them. I'm not just trying for my own good to tell you, I'm not gonna be this much, tell you how much it's gonna be without telling you how much it's gonna be. I'm doing that, but I'm doing it in a way that they're not feeling like I'm just serving myself in it. I'm serving them by helping them understand the market. And then when it's done, when you're done with that, I'm not going to be, your $45,000 guy on this. I'm also not going to be your $15,000 guy. I'll be in the middle. It'll just kind of depend. We just figured out your materials a minute ago.
Yeah.
Make sense? Does that give you a little bit better view of the market?
Yeah.
Cool.
Got us a little bit.
So land it like that too. Does that help you guys understand the market a little better? By this point, they should have a pretty good grasp on how much you're gonna cost, right? They know you're not 45, they know you're not 15, you're 30, right?
Yep.
So,
Cool.
go ahead.
Yeah, so you guys got a pretty good understanding on how the market works and how pricing and all that works.
Yeah, better idea for sure.
Cool. Alrighty. Do either of you two know what the difference between a guarantee and a warranty is?
No, but my buddy Dwayne does. Dwayne can tell
You want to phone him in real quick?
Yeah, can we phone a friend?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I've kind of explained a little bit. You know, have
Yeah,
you ever
sounds
had to, you know, got like a new appliance in your house or a new car, and they offered you warranty, 2-year, maybe even lifetime?
Yeah, we got the Hyundai. It's got that 100,000 change on it.
Yeah. Well, have you ever had to cash in one of those warranties before?
Luckily, not yet.
No.
Okay. Well, that's good. Guess you don't have to worry about that. Our friend Dwayne, he's definitely got some stories for you on that. So.
Oh, yeah.
Well, who do you think's writing all these warranties?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they hire somebody.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fine print.
Well, it said hire somebody, probably like a lawyer to write them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, who do you think that when that lawyer's writing that, who do you think they're writing that warranty in favor of?
Whoever
Hired him?
Yeah.
Like
So,
the company, right? Not for you guys.
the business. Yep.
Correct. So, let me just explain something for you. Picture this. Let's say you guys did go with the Chuck in the Truck, 15,000. You liked that? You liked the price?
Good price.
Love the price.
Plus, they gave you guys that lifetime warranty, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really where your mind was at, right? Well, so let's say you guys shake hands and you agree to allow him to do it for you, and come springtime, you're looking forward to finally using your patio. First full year with the patio, and you're walking outside with your tray of hot dogs and hamburgers, and you got your drinks. Stu's firing up the grill. Cam, you're laying out and just watching Stu grilling out, and you guys are just having a great old day, right? Well, Stu's coming back. He's got the tray now of all these cooked wieners and hamburgers, and he's ready to serve you
Well
up, Cam.
done.
Cam's been waiting all day. He's getting a little hangry, right? So,
Yeah. Maybe burnt by now.
or even worse, Stu, when you take that step away from the grill, you turn around, you trip over a brick that's sticking out just a couple inches.
Oh no.
Platter goes everywhere. You lose your drinks. Glass now is broken on the patio. You got ketchup, mustard splattered everywhere. Cam's getting up. He just has to stop suntanning. Now he's just furious with you, Stu. And
Sunburnt and hungry.
oh, he's sunburnt and hungry. It's just a mess. It's a mess. Oh my
Hot
god.
dogs are ruined.
Yeah. The whole party is ruined. Well, once you gather yourself,
Well,
and
that's
once
no
the
bueno.
tension
Yeah.
kind of comes down a little bit, what's your first thing you guys are going to do?
We're gonna call Chuck.
Absolutely. And what's he going to do for you? What do you think?
Well, he's got that guarantee. He's gonna come fix it, right?
You'd hope. Actually, you know what he's going to tell you when you call in for that guarantee or
I
the
missed
warranty?
that.
Yeah, you did. He's going to say it's actually through the manufacturer, Stu. It's not through me. So
Oh.
he's going to give you the number. You're obviously going to do your part. Call now the manufacturer. What do you think they're going to say once you tell the situation?
I won't call the manufacturer. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna come look at it and fix it.
You'd hope so. I mean, first thing, he's going to obviously thank you for the business. Thank you for choosing their product and material. They obviously want to see that you guys are happy with it, so they're going to do their part. Now, remember earlier I talked about how Steve's got these relationships with the manufacturers?
Yeah.
So this is part of that, where that's really going to come in. So, you know, obviously these manufacturers, they're really big. They're servicing all over the country. They can't come out in a timely manner that's going to be, you know, satisfying to you guys. So Steve actually is going to get called in as a third party, and he's going to come out and he's going to investigate and see what's going to happen with it. Any idea of what happens when Steve gets out there and takes a look at it?
I don't know. At least we haven't dealt with a warranty before, so we're not
Yeah, I don't know.
too savvy.
Sure. Well,
What does he do?
so when Steve comes out there, like I said, he's third party, so it's non-biased or anything. He's just evaluating the situation. He's going to come out and see that it was not anything wrong with the product. It was actually all installation error.
Well, kind of what I assumed.
Yeah. So nothing wrong with the material or anything. Now you guys are in a really sticky situation. You've got a patio that was installed wrong. You can't even use your warranty on it. So I mean, what are you guys going to do now? That kind of puts you in a tough
Yeah,
position.
we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Sounds like.
Absolutely. Well, I don't want you guys to have to go through that. So when you guys work with us, you're going to get an absolute 4-year guarantee. Now this is going to cover pillar to pillar. It's going to cover all costs, all labor, no dollar amount limit for you guys. Now which would you rather have, that lifetime warranty and the whole fiasco of messing up your day, or would you rather have the reassurance knowing that for 4 years guaranteed nothing's going to be cost for you?
Yeah, the guarantee is definitely more warm and fuzzy.
Absolutely.
It's almost a no-brainer.
Very good.
All right, hold on. Okay, so good leading questions. So at the beginning of the warranty page, you're actually kind of cross-examining a little bit, right? So what do you see on the page?
A lot of words, a lot of typing.
Yeah.
And who do you think writes all those words? People with tiny hands.
Little hands, I don't know. Lawyers, I'm assuming.
Would you hire a lawyer to protect you or someone else?
Myself, I'm hiring them.
And these are manufacturers that write these guarantees, right? So do you think they hired lawyers to protect you, the customer, or them, the manufacturer?
Probably themselves.
Well, that's the problem, right? And here's where you want to interject a small number. You get that $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 guy comes out here and he gives you a lifetime warranty. It sounds really good, right? Wow, it's half price and it's a lifetime warranty. This is going to be awesome. So you go with it, right? So now you just told him half price, so he's thinking 34. I want to use as many times as I can. I want to interject those small numbers whenever what we would call paint the villain.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm painting him along with a number so that I can differentiate myself based on numbers as well. Okay, so then your drama was great, very relatable, funny, and it sounds funny, but this is what we're going for, and I feel like we went a little longer than we should have before we got that feeling of despair. Like, once they're in the point of, oh my gosh, I don't want that to happen to me, that, I don't care what's going on, switch to the guarantee. Because you want the guarantee to symbolize relief to them, right? And you want them to be at the most emotional, like, oh my goodness, I don't even know if I want a patio after hearing this story, to, we guarantee our work. And just like super quick words, we guarantee our work. Our guarantee is 4 years, all labor, all material except for the wearable part. That's going to be your sand joints. We'll get into that. But all material, all labor, everything, pillar to pillar. Now, what did you miss? Anyone tell me what he missed at the end of that? He said, which one do you like better? You guys chose guarantee. What did we miss?
Even if it costs more.
That's good. Close a loop though. Which one do you like better, the guarantee or the warranty?
Guarantee,
Yeah.
obviously.
What do you like best about it?
Oh, and
Just the peace of mind.
it actually does something for you.
Yeah. I like the idea. I don't have to call the manufacturer if there's something wrong. I can just deal with you.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So the reality is you like the idea that you only got one phone call to make if something were to happen. Am I hearing you right?
That's right.
So what I just did is inception. I put the idea in their head that they need a guarantee, made them explain to me why they need a guarantee, and then repeated back what they explained to me so they know I understand what they want. Right? Very important to close those loops on your major commitments, because remember, what are our 4 loves?
Or yes, and everyone.
Anyone.
Oh. You love the product, love the company, you trust us, and guarantee.
Right, you, the company, the product, the guarantee. If they love those things, they're going to want to buy. So that instead of fighting you, they're going to be helping you, going, how do I make this work? Do you guys finance?
What were the 4? Love the product, love the company, love the something, love the guarantee.
So
What was it?
you, the company, the product, the guarantee.
So-
You, the salesman, the company, the product, the guarantee.
You love me, right?
So the whole system, Joe, is designed to get the customer to love those 4 things. And then at the end, we're going to close that out. So I got a couple questions just to make sure I gave you enough information to make an informed decision. Do you feel like I showed you a product you love? Yep. Do you feel like I showed you a company that can build this and do a great job for you? I do. What about me? Would I do a good job? I think so. And that guarantee, was that solid enough? Yep. So it sounds like the only thing left to worry about is whether or not we can make this affordable. Is that right, Mr. Jones? Perfect. Now I'm in a money negotiation before I show him a price. All right.
That was a great piece, by the way. You had a really good tone. I really.
Yeah, no, I really did like
Yeah,
the
the
drama.
story was.
Story's good, so if you can get them to laugh,
It was really good.
that's the key. Get them to laugh and stay.
Flying Wiener does it every time.
I tend to stick
Seems
with
that
that
this
one,
is
yeah.
this company seems to have flying wieners more than any other company I go to. So.
Sometimes hamsters are involved. And,
Sometimes we take the jokes a little far in the morning just to lighten up the mood.
But it was
All right,
good.
go
It was
You
ahead.
gotta have fun with it too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully by now you guys got good understanding of who you're working with.
Yeah, so far.
Well, did you know that over 87% of contractors out there subcontract?
I still don't really know. You mentioned the subcontract thing. I don't know if you know really what it is, but
I don't know. I mean, it's some sort of BDSM thing.
Well, let me way off on that one, Stu. But
You guys met in a Bible study?
so let
We
me.
met at a Bible study. We didn't meet at a Bible study. Obviously.
I'll explain that here in a sec. But let me just start off by saying 50% of contractors don't make it through in their first year of business. Did you know that?
no, it's kind of crazy.
Now, if you had to guess, how many out of 100 make it to year 5?
Half of those.
Yeah, I'd say half.
4 out of 100.
Wow.
Make it to year 5.
That's stunning.
And they also statistics say that 50% of all home improvement jobs done need some type of service work within that first year. So, if you've got a 50-50 chance that the company is not going to be in business in that first year, 50-50 chance you're going to need some type of work. You guys gambling men? I mean, are those good odds to you?
In fact, I am a gambler.
Do you like those odds?
No.
All right.
I don't like those odds. I wouldn't bet on
Absolutely.
that. I wouldn't bet on that.
Well, so let me now explain your question about the subcontracting. So
Yeah.
you need to get some type of service work done, and you reach out to a contractor. Now, here's what happens. Let's say today here we make this decision, and we settle on a deal here, and I tell you guys, hey, I'm going to start in 2 weeks, all right? Now, as soon as I see you guys hop in your car and drive off, I'm going to go into my office. I'm going to send out an email. I'm going to type it up for 5 guys, not for burgers and hot dogs. I'm actually looking for 5 people to do this job for you.
Oh. Why
And
5 people?
Well, I'm just reaching out, just trying to find a subcontractor. So I'm going to reach out to these people, see who can do the bid it at the lowest price. And once I get that, they're going to be the ones out at your job in 2 weeks.
Oh,
Oh, why don't we just?
yes.
Do you like the sound of that?
Guys?
No, I don't like that at all.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's like what I said earlier. We don't subcontract. So that's what would happen if you worked with a contractor that does subcontracts. In our 25 years of business, we've done one subcontract, and that was years ago. And we learned our lesson.
Good, you learn what it is.
So we're gonna get your guys.
Absolutely. We're gonna have our own crews out at the job. Is that gonna be the way you'd want it to be done?
Absolutely. I want somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I want to know.
You wouldn't want it done any other way?
No, honestly,
How come?
I'd like to know who's coming to my job. I mean, it doesn't seem kind of fair to us if I hire you and then all of a sudden,
Otherwise, we just bunch and go to Home Depot and pick up some guys.
Absolutely.
All right, hold on. So to smooth this out a little bit, you can start with the 50-50 thing,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And then go, so let me ask you this. Why do you think so many companies fail?
Probably.
poor installs. I
You
mean,
guys
lack-
familiar with subcontracting?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay, so let's say, and I want you to explain the sale to them. So let's say I did everything I set out to do today. You guys came in here, we shook hands, you went home excited, telling your family and friends all about our project that's coming up. And I go in the office here and email 93 people looking for the lowest price and earliest availability to install it.
No,
I made an agreement with you.
You know 87% of contractors do it exactly that way?
jeez.
Be hard for me to make a promise to you, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Impossible.
You told me earlier that keeping my word was something that was really important to you, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. So,
Yeah, that's better doing the numbers that way. Because then in that case too, if they put a pause in for the subcontract, then
I do have a question, real quick, and I know I've heard this many times. Now, when it comes to subcontracting, we're one of the very few that doesn't. That's one of our pride points because we do have full control of the project from start to finish. We make it sound like it's so bad that someone subcontracts. And I know we're trying to do that because we're putting ourselves here.
yeah.
But how do you do that without making like every company sound so bad because that's what they do instead of using the benefit of the fact that we don't? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think that by not mentioning any other companies by name,
Oh, no, you
you
never
kind
mention companies by
of, you
name.
kind of leave that to them to figure out, you know? Because the reality is, in my mind,
There's
when
not
I'm
that-
selling, there is nobody else. I know that there is, right? Like if the customer says, "Well, sir, are you saying you're the only good company in the world?" Absolutely
Yes.
not. I'm saying if you get three quotes, you're probably not going to get another company like mine. It would be like rolling the
Yeah,
dice.
you're
on that.
eliminating 9
Right.
out of 10 right off the bat.
So in my mind, though, if I don't sell to this customer, some guy's going to come in tomorrow and burn their house down. Like they're going to destroy everything. It's going to be a complete disaster, and I better stop this today. So
You
I
have
need
a
to
moral-
close this deal.
Moral obligation.
Right? 100%. To me, it's if I believe I'm the best guy for the job, then I have to do everything I possibly can to close this deal today. If I don't, then I let my customer down and I didn't fit my moral obligation to close these jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I do everything I can and the customer makes the wrong decision, that's on the customer. But I did what I could do. All right, go ahead.
alrighty. There was a survey that was done. They said 93% of homeowners said trust was the most important thing to them. I know you said that was very important to you earlier, Stu. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably, absolutely the most important thing.
It's up there with price for sure.
Well, price aside, Cam. So far, up to this point, would you say that you trust me?
Sure.
Trust the company? You trust the product that we're working
I'm going to stop you for a second. Way less on this. Simple, based just on what we talked about so far, would you say we're the type of company you would trust? I'm not asking them to hire me yet. I just want to close that one love down because I'm moving on to product in the next slide.
So
super
far,
quick.
price aside, would you say we're the type of company you would trust?
Absolutely, yeah.
Very good. Because if you said no, we'd have to restart.
There you go.
Alrighty. So avoiding costly maintenance and repairs. So something that's going to go into you guys having patio is we'll kind of touch on it in a second here, but you're going to have maintenance that's done.
Yeah, how often is that supposed to be done?
We can touch that in just a second here. I'll explain that, but this situation actually refers to repairs.
Okay.
So these pictures that you're actually seeing up here is a client that our sales manager went on a few years ago, and actually tried selling the job, but underbid our price by a few $1,000s, and so sales manager did lose the job, and this was something that he actually went back and was doing some repairs on. So remember how I kind of explained earlier about when the client has that guarantee or the warranty, and then they call in, and, well, a situation like that happened here, and Aaron, our sales manager, was called back out to take a look at this. And so just kind of want to zoom in here. What do you guys see on that first picture here? Anything that catches your eye?
It's a cool shape.
Cool shape? You think, see
Looks
anything?
like there's a little hump, maybe.
Little hump?
Yeah.
Kind of right here?
Yeah, a little bit of hump.
Concrete's a bit messed up.
Yeah.
The edges don't look very straight on the where the concrete is.
Yeah, you're talking like right here, that line?
Yeah, that kind of looks wonky.
Yeah. Well, so, Aaron goes out
Not
here
too bad.
and quotes to repair this. Now, let me just ask you a question. If you guys had a hole in the wall, like you punched a hole or something happened, would you just paint over it?
No, you plaster, sand it down.
Fix it.
Yeah, you'd want to properly fix it, right?
Yeah.
Well, so what could be done here what properly should have been done is a straight line cut with that concrete would have avoided all of this. So now really you're kind of stuck with either having to rip out the whole thing and redo it all, or you're just going to have a squiggly line right there along your sidewalk or along the driveway. Now, Stu, I know you mentioned something about a little hump right here too.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea of what's maybe causing that?
I don't know.
You happen to see this gutter right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that gutter actually is buried under here. It comes out that way. Obviously mitigate the water. That's a very important thing.
Okay.
But do you happen to have any idea of why that's causing that to happen, knowing that it's under there?
No, I'm not sure. Well, I mean, maybe they just didn't go deep enough with the pipe.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good job.
Oh, lucky
They
guy.
didn't bury it deep enough. And so, obviously, in these cold winter months, we've got freeze and thaw cycles. So anytime water is trapped under there and
Yeah.
it gets cold, it's going to expand.
Right.
And so if it's not dug deep enough, that pipe is going to cause those pavers, which you're seeing, to hump up there a little bit. So after Aaron gave those 2 quotes there to repair those, and like I said, it's not going to be a permanent solution. Do you have any idea of how much that would cost?
$2,000, $5 grand.
About a couple thousand, like you said, Stu. Yep, a couple thousand. Well, unfortunately, that's not all. He took a look over here, and what do you guys see? Anything going on over here?
Don't look too bad.
I mean, I'm not a professional. I can't see much wrong. Looks pretty good to me.
Let me point your direction then to this crack right here. What do you guys notice about that compared to the others?
Yeah, it seems a little bit more prevalent.
You have any
wider.
idea of why that's happening? No? Well, I'll point your direction then right here. So you see that this walkway is kind of elevated on a little hill. Kind of goes down maybe about a foot and a half.
Yeah.
So all of that weight right here, that whole 2 feet of the pavers right here, it's all naturally wanting to go to that lower ground.
Yeah.
And so over time, with all this joint being exposed, like I just talked about, the expanding and contracting, that water's getting in there, pushing it, it all wants to naturally go down. Do you have any idea of what would be done the correct way to prevent that?
I'll need some sort of support to hold it up, I would think.
Absolutely. Well, what we would do is we would bury it's called a foundation support block. They're a 6-inch thick block that would be buried under the pavers there. And so that way then the paver could sit on top of it and to support that. So even though it's on a little hill right there, they're not going to want to naturally go down. It's going to be supported by the
All
block.
right, hold on for a second. Does anybody, just real quick, know what I would say right now about the foundation support block?
Hold off on it and tease it.
So don't sell the farm.
Don't
sell the
talk about
farm.
it, just mention it.
Yeah, because we're gonna show that in a minute. So
Right.
anytime you're pitching something and there's something you're gonna get to in a few minutes, never give it away now, because when you get there, it won't have any sizzle left. But a couple of things to get, and I forgot too, don't forget your teasers and your foreshadowings. Like 99% of the time, it's the same reason that these patios fail. I'll show you why in a couple of minutes. When you're on the guarantee versus warranty, we miss that. And then when somebody asks a question, and you're gonna get to it in a minute, learn to say this as quickly as possible. You know what? I'll get to that in just a minute. Don't always answers, never explanations. Explanations sound like excuses. Answers are just answers. So if Stuart asked me, a question that I'm not to yet.
That you're what?
That I'm not to yet. Any question you want.
Oh yeah. What do you guys use for your base?
Well, there's several choices, and you could use one thing or another thing, but sometimes they use one, and then if I explain, I sound like I'm trying to cover something up, right? If I go, well, I'll get to that in just a couple minutes.
And then you get back to
I'll
it.
show you in a minute. And then when I get to it, I'm very also concise. This is what you do. There isn't another way, right? So anytime you can answer quickly, always do that.
Okay.
Can you actually say, I'm looking forward to explaining that or telling you that in a few minutes?
Great question. I'm gonna get to in just a couple minutes. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, anything like that. But just as long as it's as quick as you can. Yeah, you know what?
great question.
I promise. So for me, that doesn't fit my personality. It would fit yours.
Yes.
For
Oh,
me,
I get it.
I'm super direct. So I'm going to get to that in just a minute. And people know that that's who I am by now, so they don't take offense to it. But there's no problem with going, yeah, absolutely, great question. I'll cover it in just a second.
Yeah, see, I like that.
But they get used to you. They get used to you telling them, "I'm going to cover that in a second," and they realize that you are going to. So what you don't realize is people ask a question and we get worried they're going to be upset that I don't just jump to it when they ask me to. But who's the expert? You? And do people tell experts what to do? They shouldn't. They're expecting you to be the pro. So you got to guide this entire experience. If you start letting them guide it, they lose confidence in you. It's subconscious. They're not going, hey, this guy's letting me guide him all over the room. I don't trust him. But subconsciously, they called an expert. They want you to come out. All right, let's sit here. Let's go over here. Let's do it this way. Let's make sure this is happening. I'll get to that in just a minute. And you constantly kind of keeping them corralled in the right direction. And then I do like that you were letting them answer. So what you did really well on this, especially on that when you moved across the sway, and I like to say, let's take a walk across the driveway. But I like that's not all too. But when you got to this, you said, what do you see here? And sometimes it gets uncomfortable because they don't see anything and you want to immediately make them feel better. Don't. Let them have a minute of their brain chasing an answer, you know. And then he goes, well, I really don't know. Okay, no problem. And then it's no problem. You're not mad at him for it. No problem. Do you see anything right here? What about over here? Okay, great. Now, what I think you could have been more direct about was, how much do you think it costs to do this repair?
Yeah, I think when he said a few $1,000s, I think you should have been more specific. Like, hey, it was $6,000 more.
Well, the other thing is too, yeah, when you're talking about Aaron going, so Aaron, the story here is actually, if you foreshadowed it on the price conditioning page, you know, you said, hey, listen, I'm going to show you a story just like this in a couple minutes, right? And so then Aaron went out. Remember I told you I was going to show you a story in a minute? Aaron went out to this. He's our sales manager, and he was supposed to do maintenance. But if you punch a hole in the wall, you would fix the hole before you paint it, right? Before you maintain it. Same thing here. He noticed there was a few things that needed to be taken care of. What do you see here?
Right.
And then you get done with that. What do you see here? Okay, blah, 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 blah. This is this. And you go, what do you think it costs to fix that?
I don't know, $1,000?
About $1,800. Now remember, he was only $6,000 less than us when we started. Make sure you get that point in there.
Yeah.
Let's take a walk across the driveway. All right, here's another one. What do you think it costs to fix that?
I'm guessing 1,800-ish?
22. So again, we're getting awful close to that 6,000 and we're not even in the backyard yet. Let's take a look there. We go to the backyard. So do you think he saved 6,000 or spent more doing this job? Right? Ask him the questions, and then when you get through with it,
So that's just a Band-Aid fix too.
that's where I was going. So, and then let me ask you this. Do you know what the problem is with all the repairs we just talked about? The 1,800, 2,200, 3,400?
I don't know.
They're all a Band-Aid. The only real way to fix this is to tear it all out and do it again.
Is that what you want to spend your money on?
Yeah, so how important is it to hire the right company to do this?
Very.
You know, all right, I want to jump forward to the close because I want to work on that as well. So I want you to finish your 4 loves and then present a price and we'll go from there.
It's Cam's page.
All right.
Yeah. Good job. Some new pictures.
So that was everything. I just have one last question for you guys. So I just want to make sure that I've given you guys enough information to make a well-informed decision today. So would you say that you guys love me? You trust me?
I love you.
We have to get to the love.
Yeah.
You guys love the company? You trust the company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really
You
do.
trust the product that we're working with? You love it?
Yeah.
Yep. And so obviously we just got to make it affordable for you.
That's the big question.
Out there, I'm waiting for it for 3 hours now.
That's just good.
Alrighty, well, you guys want an opportunity to maybe get a little money off?
Oh, we're always down to save some money.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
What I gotta do?
You good?
Alright, so
Do we have to
what,
get our hands dirty?
no, what we're gonna do here is, while I'm just, calculating every last thing, 'cause we, decided on that material, I just gotta finalize my price here. What I want you guys to do is, and you're not gonna tell me yet, I want you both to write down on a piece of paper what you think this is gonna be. And if you come within, $500, I'll take $500 off for you.
If we get it within $500, you give us $500.
So within $1,000, I'll give you 500 off. Yeah.
Okay.
We both get a guess?
You both can get a guess. Yep. So, but you guys take your time. I'm gonna just kind of step away and just calculate my prices here, and don't tell me it. And
Remember, I'm not 45, I'm not 15.
that's right. That's right. So remember earlier when I talked about the prices? I'm not going to be the 45, but I'm also not going to be 15. So
Like it gives us a.
Make sure you throw the pen at him. Take that, you filthy animal.
You do the price guess thing, game in every close.
He's been on pause the whole time.
Super helpful. I'll explain why in a minute. Actually, I can explain it while he's doing that. The reason I do the price guess game is totally not what people think. So, like, if you do a price guess, you have to say, listen, don't show me your numbers till I'm done with mine. I don't want you to think I'm looking at yours to come up with mine. So they don't think you're trying to figure out what they're willing to pay, because that's not the point. The point is one last chance to price condition before I go to my price. So remember, I'm not going to be 15,000. We talked about this earlier. I'm not going to be 45,000. So if you think in the middle, you got a starting point. Fair enough. Give me about 5 minutes. And the other reason I do it is to see how well I did, because I have a real gauge now on my price conditioning every time I pitch. So when I'm done, I look at my numbers and I go, man, everybody's guessing low. I need to work on my price conditioning. I need to build more value. But if everybody's guessing high, I'm killing it, right? My goal is to have them guess $4 or $5 grand higher than I'm priced.
So it's like a
Because then you're like, I got good news for you. You didn't win. And they're like, huh? And I'm like, well, you're way over it. It's, and they're like, oh.
It's a win-win no matter what. They either win the money or they're way higher than you're like, hey, you're not $500, but you're 4,000 cheaper than you thought. So it's always.
Parker, how
Alrighty.
many showroom appointments have you done?
one.
One? Okay.
And he sold it.
You're right. I did.
There you go, see?
I'm one for one.
That's okay.
That's what I was wondering, yeah.
Alrighty, you guys got your numbers?
Yeah.
You
gonna show me yours?
Don't see it. Oh, you played too. Alrighty.
This is our neighbor.
You show us.
That's Joe.
I mean, in the patio.
Joe.
It's our financial.
Yeah, he's our financial
Actually had a
advisor.
client
Guy
bring,
brought his
we had a
financial
client
advisor
actually
in
bring
here
their
one day.
financial advisor one time.
That would be Luma.
Alrighty, you guys. So ready to get down to the nitty gritty here.
Yeah.
What are you at?
I wanna win.
Well, so for everything we went over, for the design you guys wanted, the rectangle patio with the
lights.
with the lights, the wall,
Mm-hmm.
everything applied. I'm gonna be at 33.5.
I went right in the middle, like you said. I went 30 flat.
I was 31. I thought I
I
might be a
want
little bit.
27.
Oh
Didn't
man.
build enough value for me. I guess I don't want to do
All right.
Man.
See ya.
Okay, really quick before we go into the close.
Those
You
tough
show them the
cookies,
price
man.
and don't
So-
say anything.
Well, what you want to do is you want to do your value stack, which you tried.
Yep.
A couple of things. So what you're getting is the patio, the guarantee, me as your point man, our building process, everything we talked about today, and it's only going to be $35,321.39. All I need is a signature right here, and we'll get it going. And then go silent. Always ask them to sign, then go silent. Because you're putting, why is it important to ask them to sign before we go silent?
Get immediately their first crazy objection.
Right, you're not giving them time to think up some elaborate scheme. It's just, sorry, I got to think about it. I can't decide. You're going to get that knee-jerk reaction, which is way better. I want a fast objection. I don't want to give them time to talk about their girlfriend's cousin in Toledo who did brick pavers in college, and you got to get in touch with him, but his number's disconnected, so I got to drive down there first. You know, like, I want to get away from those crazy objections. So when I ask him to sign, plus every time you ask him to sign, they're going to do what? They're either going to sign,
I'll give an objection.
they're going to give you some version of maybe, and usually it's not true. People don't, contrary to popular belief, people don't like lying. So the more you force them to lie, the more likely they are to back down on their story. So when I ask them to sign 4 times, and each time they got to make their little white lie a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. Well, you know, he's in Toledo, but he's actually in a coma right now, so I got to wait till he wakes up, then I'll ask him about it. Well, you know, you overcome that. He's like, well, you know, he actually has to talk to his girlfriend. She's in a coma too. They had a car accident. And the story gets bigger and bigger. But what I'm saying is they get tired of making the story bigger.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what, man? Since you put it that way, that's what the discounts are about, by the way. They're not about meeting their price. A discount is only about trying to give them a good reason to get out of what they said. Because they didn't want to say, I want to think about it in the first place. They don't know why they say that. It's just a knee-jerk reaction. You know what, I got to think about this. Well, you know, hey, listen, if you can make a decision while I'm here, I can save you 5%, and you're going to be all the way down to $30,348, and all I need is a signature right here. And he goes, well, since you put it that way, right? It's not about the $1,000. It really isn't. It's about
They want to save face.
Right. It's about being able to get out of their own objection without looking like they're an idiot, right? So very, very important to understand the difference, because if you're trying to get to their price, you never will, right? It's about narrowing it to price so you can create a negotiation. So also, never end a price in what?
0.
0, 5, or 9. 0, 5s, and 9s sound like Walmart or Craigslist. So always give them an exact number. 31,528, 32,621, something that sounds specific.
Like you actually calculated it.
Right. Yeah, because I've seen salespeople calculate it, then round it up to 35.5.
Yeah.
And now it sounds like you just pulled the number out of the air. So always end your numbers in weird numbers.
Not 0,
Oh.
5s, and 9s.
Right. And another thing, change every time. And another thing, especially if they're going to eliminate the penny. Another thing you want to do is always make sure that when you give that number, if your first inspection discount is going to bring that number down and it's going to stay in the same thousand, so like let's say your number is 29,942, make it 30,148. So that when you give them your discount, you change an entire decade, right? And so it'll seem like a lot more money. So it's weird, it's counterintuitive. I say raise the price, don't lower the price. And by the way, raising the price is the best thing you can always do. All right, go ahead.
Alrighty. Yeah, so for everything that you'll be getting, patio, getting me to be the point man, the company, our crew doing it all, it's going to be $33,525, $526.
Sorry, I read that wrong.
Ah, Parker, that's funny. Professional is the best.
Yeah, it's more than we thought.
Sounds good? Just need you to sign right here.
Well, I mean,
It's more than we thought, man. We got
yeah, I mean, it
30,
sounds good. You got a
27.
card? We can.
Yeah,
We'll get it back to him Friday for sure, right?
yeah. I got some thinking to do now.
Well, I mean, you said you like the product, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Love it.
You love the guarantee.
Comforting.
You loved, the idea of working with me and having me as a point man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So price aside, you love everything about it.
Yeah.
So we really just gotta make the dollars make sense.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we got to think about.
Yeah, man. For the most part, that's really the biggest concern for us right now.
Where did you say you guys were at? What were your guesses on? 30,000.
27. So the way we guessed it was this. I did direct center. He went a little higher in case you were higher, and then he went to what we're actually. He went to what we were actually hoping
I'm
for. at
actually
20.
going trucking a truck.
Yeah.
So we're
gave
about
me
a
that.
difference of about $3,000.
Well, realistically, 27 is kind of what.
Where we thought.
Honestly, we came in thinking more like 20, 25, but then seeing what you offer, we're not stupid. We realized it costs a little more here, so 27 is our real.
So a difference of
expectation.
$5,000. Now, obviously, if I had the ability to just knock off $5,000, I would definitely do that.
That'd be
So if
awesome.
anyone
Yeah,
would
let's
be
do
able-
that.
Now,
Get her
unfortunately, I'm not able to do that.
Oh.
So what I can do here, we're difference of 5,000. What I can do for you guys, we do have a first time showroom visit discount, but the thing is, this is only going to apply this while we're here today. Blah blah blah. Let's just say I read
We
it.
normally have like an actual letter that's typed out by Dina. It's like one paragraph. We just read it really quick, and then basically it says like, due to the swing of the season, a lot of paperwork, et cetera, speeding up our time frames. We offer this to speed up both our parties, like project times. So we offer you this, but it's I don't. We don't have it on us.
So the letter from Dina
Got the
is third-party verification.
Financing.
If it's a sales rep going, oh, if you do it now, I'll give you money off, they're like, okay, this is just a sales rep. But when you make the letterhead and they read it and they go, hey, there's a program. So like, the one that I like,
Gave it away pretty
the explanation, because whenever you give a discount, you have to sell it first, right? So they have to buy into why you're giving it. Otherwise, they're just gonna be like, why didn't you give me that price the first time?
Right.
So I'm gonna go like this. I'm straightforward as it can be with it. Listen, Cam, Stu, this is a competitive business, right?
Yeah, of course.
And one of the things that happens in competitive businesses, and I'm not saying you guys would do this, but it happens all the time, I'm sure you'll agree, is we come out together and we come up with a really great plan. You love everything you see, but for whatever reason, we don't come to an agreement. And tomorrow, somebody who's really good at figuring out what I was gonna charge comes in and says, oh, I can do everything they were gonna do for a little less. And now you got a bunch of subcontractors running around the backyard, and I lose out on your business. It's a lose-lose. So in order to compel you to help us kind of eliminate the competition, I'll just read this to you. And now I'm just telling you the truth. The reason I want you to sign now is because if you don't, somebody's going to come in and trick you into buying for cheaper and pretend you're going to get the same thing. And this is why I'm comfortable with that morally. If a customer leaves by tomorrow, do you guys remember the percentage of what they remember from yesterday?
Not very much. Just a number.
It's 13%. And you know what the 13% is?
Price.
What you look like and the price. That's pretty much all they remember tomorrow.
The length of the warranty.
Yeah, they might remember one other fact that they really liked, right? But the reality is another guy, it's people believe what they want to believe, right? You could use politics as an example. If somebody hates Trump, oh, Trump was eating babies on the corner of DeQuinder and 9 Mile the other day. Everybody's on Facebook like, I saw it, he was doing it. And then the same thing if it was his opponent, like people believe what they want, right? So when you walk in the house after someone and go, oh, I could do everything they were going to do for $3,000 less, they're like, hey, he could do everything they were going to rip me off. And they loved you yesterday. Now today you're ripping them off because some guy came in and figured out how much you were going to charge and beat your price, right? And that's the sales pitch of Chuck in a Truck, by the way. They love coming in after a real company because then they can walk in the door and go, oh, I'll do it for nothing. You know, and so be aware of that when you're talking. Just be as straightforward as you can. And the other thing too, you're doing the right objection. You're overcoming the objection properly, but I want you to feel like you're fighting for it, but with them on their side, right? So same objection.
We were, truthfully, I know we made these guesses, but he had our honest one that 27 is really what we were maxed out, really.
Now, here's a mistake a lot of salespeople would make. I'll come right back to that spot. They would start right there and go, well, what were you hoping it was going to be? And they've got the amount. So our closing system is price, amount, close, squeeze, right? Well, we got price. Do we? In this case, I don't have price on the island yet. I got his amount, but I don't have price, so I'm gonna go back a step and make sure it's only about price. Otherwise, he's gonna find a way to squeeze out later. So price aside though, Cam, Stu, would you say my company's gonna do a good job for you?
No, there's no doubt. Yeah.
And it seems like you love the patio that you chose.
Yeah.
Very happy with it.
So, as far as what the decision you're thinking about and going through, it's really about whether or not, and this is the other thing, whether or not the dollars make sense. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got other projects in home, and obviously there's to-do lists at our new house, but it's for the most part the price to make sure we can afford everything else.
Right, so dollars making sense, because in a perfect world, this would already be in the backyard, right?
Yeah.
Whenever they bring up other projects, I'm gonna point out that in a perfect world, they would already have this done. Okay, so you said you were hoping to be around 27.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously.
That's us coming up a little bit after seeing what you guys actually
Absolutely. Now, obviously, I can't make $5,000-$6,000 disappear. If I could, I would. You know, if it was up to me, I'd wave a wand and get rid of all of it for you. Would it help if we finance some of the job?
I mean, financing is great, but it's still at the end of the day, it's more than we're really hoping for with everything else we got going on.
I get it, and probably everything's going to be more than you thought, isn't it?
Probably.
You want to just finance this one, get it out of the way then?
Not at 33, man.
Fair enough. So when were you thinking about doing the work, by the way? I guess I didn't even ask
We
that.
wanted to do it this year.
Oh, okay. Well, I do have something that might help, and here's where I would go into my first inspection discount. I want to always ask first because, anyone?
Our letter is really due to those who are trying to get it done this year.
Well, I want to, not that, I'm saying I want to ask them to buy first
Right.
Oh, yeah.
because
It makes it more powerful when you do your job.
it strengthens my discount, right? If I just go, oh, you don't like that price? Here's a new price.
Right, and
that-
why don't you just give that?
I'm just devaluing my product. I'm not actually giving you anything in particular. And then when I do give you a discount, I'm always going to do what?
Counter.
I'm going to trade. I'm never going to just give you money. I'm always going to get something from you. Either I'm putting a sign in your front yard for 60 days. I'm having you share our photos on Facebook. I'm having you come in here and do a video testimonial or stand on your new patio and do a video testimonial. I'm doing something that's going to be worth money to me.
So you're constantly giving value for value.
Yeah, you can't just give money away. If you do, they feel like you just cheapened everything that they love. They love your patio and you just make it cheap.
Tell you what, you do the margarita, I'll do.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
give
Let's
you
do the
another-
Macarena together. I'll give you $500 off. You know, and you know, you got a blue shirt on today, you're in. You know, like those discounts don't work. You know, in fact, they're what get people talking negatively about you and your company. You know, is, oh, this guy came out, he was cheesy, called his boss 5 times, and like you can do that, but you have to do it right. If you don't, the customer, you know, and again, I think a lot of this is mentality, right? Because if you feel like you're trying to trick the customer is going to feel like you're trying to trick them. But for me, I had a customer ask me one time straight up, are you going to be one of those guys that gives me a price and then makes another price for while you're here and then calls his boss 3 times? You know what I said to him? Yep. And he didn't know what to say, right? Because he thought I was going to go, oh, no. But that's like, you're pressuring me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Only if you object.
Has anyone ever said, you know, once you apologize for pressuring them, has anybody go, since you apologize, let's just write it up? It'll never happen. So own it. Are you going to be one of those guys? Absolutely. Were you hoping I'd lie to you? No. Good. So we're off to a good start, right? Yeah. Well, here's the reality, though. And I did. I told him the whole thing. I said, here's the reality. I'm going to show you everything. My job is to show you why I'm the right guy for this job. And if you agree with me, then I'm going to ask you to hire me. And I do have an offer that's good while I'm here, and when I explain it, I'm pretty sure you'll understand why I do it, and it's totally up to you whether you accept it. Now, that's also very important, autonomy. They have to feel like it's always their choice, right? It's totally up to you if you accept it. And if there's some things you can do for me that might save my company some money on advertising or other things, I probably can get you some money off, but it's not my money to give away, so I will call and get permission to do that. But if you bear with me through that whole process, I'll do my very best to get you the best price. Is that fair? You met anybody this honest before? Perfect. I think we're going to get along just fine, right? And now I took control. Anytime somebody accuses you of anything, if it's true, own it, but always come back. Never defend yourself. Right? There's nothing to defend. I didn't do anything wrong here. I was invited to their house, or I invited them here because they want a patio. So I don't feel guilty about trying to sell them one. In fact, it's my job, right? It's my job to help them get this beautiful patio that they want. So I have to help them get there. All right. So let's start back at amount and go from there.
Like all the way from back at the beginning, like when I first showed them?
Yeah, you gave them the price. You got price on the island. We'll start at amount.
Okay.
This is after they already showed they showed their what they guessed, right?
Yeah.
Got 5,000 or 6,000 difference.
Oh, I got
You can start at price. It's easier to start at price so that you can see the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, so for everything that we talked about, getting me to be the point man, the company, our crew, everything, total is just going to come out to $33,526. Just need a signature right here, and we'll get you going.
Man. We all missed. Yeah, we were all over. It's a shame.
All over. What do you guys got?
Well, I went
All
dead
under.
smack in the middle, like you said, you'd be in the middle. So I went for 30 just to try to win the game. He went a little above, and then he did 27, which is closer to really what we were
I'm a distant
thinking.
cousin.
Yeah,
Right.
really late. He's really distant. He's sorry. But I mean, really, the 27's a bit more accurate to what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at about a difference of 5,000. Now, if I could just get rid of 5,000, obviously I would, but unfortunately I can't do that. So, I mean, would financing help you guys out with this? We can finance the project.
Possibly. You don't really like the finance stuff, though.
I mean, the way I look at it, it's still the same price. It's still more than we were really thinking, honestly.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time you had to pay a little bit more for something you wanted, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know about how your financial works, but 5,000 is not a little to us. It's quite a bit of money, honestly. If it was a few $100, sure, no brainer, but 5,000-6,000 is still a lot to us. I wouldn't call that a little.
Well, so how were you planning? I mean, you said you came in expecting to pay 27. Were you planning on paying that all cash?
Yeah, we paid cash.
Why don't you want to pay that part and then we can finance that 5,000?
I mean, again, still more than we were hoping. I'm not against financing it, but I'd rather finance something that's still affordable. Like if the answer is you're at 33,526, it's a no.
Well, I know you guys said you wanted like the lights as well, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. So, I mean, what I could try to see if I could do for you. Advertising is very big for us. Obviously, it's a good way for us to get our name out there. I can double check with Steve and see if you guys would be willing to, put a sign out there for 30 days. We could take off another $1,000.
Transparency, I mean, $1,000 ain't gonna do it for us. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
It's closer. I mean,
like if you're not even, like we're willing to wiggle, but if you're over 30, we're.
Hey, Cam, is this something you do plan on doing?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. And you said earlier you didn't want a bunch of subcontractors. You kind of felt like we were the right fit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly why you should pay this extra $4,000 right now.
Just give him the handshake, Jason.
There you go. Throw it out there.
Fuck you, no. I'm just kidding. I'm just
The reason, so,
I was just kidding.
now I have a reason. I wouldn't say that. Listen, I wouldn't say that unless I had a reason ready to back it up. What do you mean if he gets indignant? I don't care if a customer gets indignant, by the way. It doesn't bother me a bit.
You can't.
Because that's a part of the process, right? But what I would do next is I go, well, let me ask you a question, Cam. Do you think this project cost more or less last year, same time?
I mean, everything was cheaper last year.
100%. Now, do you think your dollar was worth more or less, or will be worth more or less tomorrow than it is today?
Well, probably less.
So you got a price that's going this way and a dollar that's going this way. That's exactly why we should do this right now.
I just can't afford it. And maybe that's a pill I have to swallow, that we just don't get the patio. I don't know.
I don't want to let a couple dollars come in between you and your patio. I definitely want to do the job. Let me ask you this. Advertising is our biggest cost. Hands down, other than material and labor, getting you in here is the most expensive thing we do. Now, you said you were on Facebook, right?
Yeah, we originally saw you on the trucks driving around, but we did look at the Google for a little bit.
Okay.
He's got almost 300 friends.
What's that?
He's got 300 friends.
Okay. I actually like those. True story. When they have 300 friends and they post something, all 300 of them see it.
Yeah.
The influencer, everybody just scrolls right past what the heck they're doing all day long. So with your 300 friends, I'm comfortable with that. Would you share from our page to yours when it's done?
Oh.
Yeah.
If I could save you some money? Because I know it doesn't take you much, but to us, you know, your 300 friends seeing your new patio, there's a good chance somebody's interested, right?
We would do that, no problem.
Cool. Hold on 1 second. Never ask permission to check with Steve. Because they'll go, yep, check with him and get back with me, and then they'll leave.
Yeah.
But you go, hey, you know what, 1 second. Hey, Steve, can you come out here? Or, hey, Steve, I'm over here with Cam and Stu, and we're going to be doing a patio for them. Retail on it was $33,521, $26. I did offer the first inspection discount. That brought us all the way down to $31,324. After that, we're still talking. He's hoping to, make the dollars make a little bit more sense. I told him I'd do whatever I could. They're willing to share from our Facebook to theirs when it's done. Do you have any interest in maybe some advertising dollars that way? Perfect. So, what are you thinking, Steve? And then Steve and I will go back and forth, not on speakerphone.
To be honest with you, the way, and Steve will back it up, the way I do it to make it even more comfortable with the client is before even coming out, I'll tell Steve that, hey, this is where we're at, this is my bottom, so you know what to work with. So when I do call him, I put him on speaker.
Okay.
So it's like full transparency. It's like, hey, I'm not hiding nothing from you. We're both talking to my boss together. But behind the scenes, he already knows what the number is, so he can do whatever he likes with that.
I don't know if this is, something I should be doing, but what I like to do is actually confirm the deal before. Like, hey, he's a busy man. If I can.
It depends. If I know a number, I might do that. But if I don't know the number, because if you do that, you got no more chances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that twice. So you better be at bottom if you're going to do it that way. Hey, listen, I've already gotten you, a couple thousand off of this thing. I'm willing to go to bat for you, but I am stretching my neck out a little bit. If I get this done, are we going to shake hands? If you're at the bottom, I'm okay with it. But I wouldn't do that before.
No.
Because then you're going to sound like
it's the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. And then I would really, and now this is more for your, the very end, right? You don't have any money left. There's a couple of no money left closes. Does anybody know which
There's
ones?
$128 paperwork fee.
You can do that, like a tiny 17.
Yeah.
Listen, I got $17 left, man. I'll give it to you if you want to write it up right now. And I've closed a lot of deals like that.
Sometimes, I don't know if it's the right thing to do or not, but like if it is like the difference, say somehow, some way I got down to like, let's say 29 grand, they thought they were 27. So I'm even past the half. I'm like 20,000, like 172 or something like that. I go, listen, I go, I really have given you every single thing I have. I go, but I'm not going to lose this job over $172. So at the end of the day, we'll take it out of my end. And like, I'll even say that. And they're like, no. Like, I don't want you to lose money.
Yeah,
but I
they'll
don't know
do
if that's
that
something
every
that's,
time.
yeah.
Well, making a couple dollars is better than making no dollars.
They'll give you your money back anyways, almost every time.
Yeah.
You got the very rare like person who's just wants the lowest price. That'll be all right.
Sometimes
Cool.
they
Give me
do
your
say that, like,
172.
that's cool. It's
Cool,
$29.95,
take it.
Yeah.
But
When you say that to me, it's like, hey, listen,
Take $170
so
out of your
there's
wallet.
two that I got in mind.
$100.
Right. There's two that I got in mind. The yes, no, maybe, right? And this is where you can bring the customer to almost to that point of anger before they leave, so you can fix it before they go home. Which is, Cam, there's three answers I get in sales. Number one is yes. Obviously, that's why I'm here. I told you earlier I can take a no as graciously as a yes, and I meant that. It's the maybes that drive me crazy, though, because I think maybe you want me to call you tomorrow. Maybe you want me to call you the next day. Maybe you're just breaking up with me. It's not me, it's you, and you're letting me down easy because I'm a nice guy and you're a nice guy. I really don't know what's going on. So, Cam, if it's no, just tell me that, please.
It's not a no. I told you directly. I'm transparent with you. It's more than we were really thinking.
So they'll always give some sort of a maybe at this point. They'll always go, it's not no, it's no for now, right? Like,
Once I'm doing no, you'll get a no. And it's like, all right, cool.
that's cool. Yeah,
cool with
totally.
that. You're
I
done.
want the no. The no is better than nothing, right? So that's cool. But in this case, I'm going to go, I get it. I understand. But you know what? Just all truth, transparency here. You don't strike me as the type of guy that would pay more tomorrow for something he could have got today. Now, one of two things is going to happen. He's going to get indignant and go, you mean to tell me if I call you tomorrow, I won't get this same price? Absolutely. Because remember earlier, I told you that the first discount that I gave you was to compel you to help me eliminate my competition. Well, if I let you walk out of here and go shop me, that discount has done nothing for me. There's no value in me giving it to you. Mm-hmm. So I can't. Now, I'm stuck in the middle here because sometimes I think maybe I should just give you tomorrow's price. Maybe I should just say, you know what, we won't have this tough conversation. I'll give Cam tomorrow's price. Maybe he'll call me in 2 days and pay more. But I'm wondering in my head if it's really ethical not to at least show you what it could be. I hope you feel I've made the right decision.
Yeah, I understand your point of view.
Do you want to take advantage of it?
You got to work with me.
I've worked with you. You got to work with me at this point, Cam.
Flip a coin.
What do I get if I win, you sign? If you win, what do I got to give you? Because I don't have a whole lot. I could do like $100, honestly.
Where's my partner?
He said go for it. I heard him.
Yeah. Nah, you're
So the
right.
yes, no, maybe, and try to get them to you mean to tell me, right? And then I'm stuck in the middle works really well because now they leave liking you. Like, hey, I hope you feel I've made the right decision. Again, always autonomy. Hey, this is what I would do, but it's totally up to you one way or the other. The other one is the me close. And this one takes a high level of confidence, and you got to make your own story for it, right? Because I have one story, but you guys all can make a story for the me close. So, Kim, and this is for when they keep saying they want to get other quotes. You could shop the world. You could get a quote from every single company on the planet. You can shop next year every company on the planet, and there's one thing you're not going to get anywhere. Do you know what it is? It's me. And you're like, wow, Jason, what an ego. And maybe so. Maybe I am a little bit egotistical, but you know what? My wife hasn't had to work a day in her life she hasn't wanted to. My kids don't worry about clothes or food. We've done pretty good for ourselves. You know why?
What?
The service I give to customers like you, and I will not sacrifice that for you or anyone else. So when I say I'm worth a couple more bucks than the guy who comes in after me, you can put those bucks in the bank. Now, can I go to work for you?
Sure.
That close, if you can handle the rejection on the other side of it, that close will close deals at bottom. Because you're telling them to tell you personally no. You're not asking them to tell your company no or your product no. At this point, it's like, look, tell me that you think somebody's better out there and I'll go away. Right? So, Stu, I want to get 3 quotes.
I'll get 3 quotes.
Yes.
So, I get it. I totally get it. You want to make sure you got your I's dotted and your T's crossed and you do
Yep.
due diligence, right?
Yep.
So let me ask you this: when you're getting your other quotes, are you looking for a lesser quality product or
No, apples to apples.
apples to apples?
Yep.
So you're basically just looking for lower cost price?
Well, yeah.
So you said that you love the design, right?
Yeah, the design's great.
And you love the company,
Yep.
and you think I would be a great point man?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're getting those other quotes, how much were you hoping to save by getting those other quotes?
I mean, I'm not sure.
I mean, $250, 500, 1,000,
Honestly, a couple thousand.
a couple thousand.
Yep.
I mean, we're at 31,297. So you're trying to get 2,000, a couple 2,000. I mean, if
Oh yeah, a couple thousand, 2-3 grand. Yep.
obviously $2,000 is a lot of money to me.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot of money to you as well.
Yep.
And obviously, if I just had a magic wand and I can make that disappear, I'd be the best salesman in the world, right? We could just,
Yeah.
it would be a no-brainer.
Yep.
Okay. Would financing help? Can we? I mean, I can finance that $2,000 for you. I just give it to you.
I mean, it might help, but you know, I'm just really like want to do my due diligence and make sure.
Yeah, I understand. You want to do your due diligence. Well, let me ask you this: when were you hoping to get this done?
I mean, once I make my decision, we're gonna pull the trigger right away.
Okay, so you want to get it done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Well, great. I have something that might be able to help.
Good. So, good. One thing I think will help you get priced quicker
Yeah.
is when you're getting your other quotes. I love the empathy though. Hey, it makes sense. I mean, this is a big project. You don't want to make any mistakes here, right? When you are getting those other quotes, are you looking for a lesser quality product or just something comparable for maybe a little less? I'm going to force them to say comparable for less,
Right,
right?
comparable.
It's just faster.
Right.
Okay.
Comparable for less.
Okay. And by getting those quotes, perfect what you said, by getting those quotes, what were you hoping to save?
Yeah. Like $2,500.
Okay, obviously $2,500 is a lot of money to you and me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I could, I would. That said, you know, obviously I can't do that, but I mean, it's $2,500. Did you want to finance maybe half of the job and take the pressure off a little bit?
I really don't like financing too much, but
Okay.
you give
How
me-
long would it take you to come up with the 2,500?
a couple months.
So we're 8 weeks out right now anyway. So if you want to give me half down now, you'll have the other 2,500 by the time we're done, won't you?
I mean, isn't there something you could do?
Yeah, I mean, actually, this is something you're doing soon, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So I
we
already
wanna get
know,
it-
so I'm
yeah.
not going to. When are you thinking?
Yeah.
So okay, actually, yeah. One of the things we do, we want to eliminate competition as much as possible, right? It's a competitive industry.
Yeah.
To do that, one of the things we want to avoid is you walking out of here, you loved everything, but then somebody else figures out what I was going to do and tries to do it for a couple bucks cheaper.
Yeah.
So I've got this letter. Let me just read it to you. So if you can bring yourself, when I'm done, So if you can bring yourself to make a decision with me right now, it does save you about $1,149.
Let's do it.
It's gonna bring us all the way down to, so congratulations on your new patio, right?
Here, take my strong hand.
All right,
Okay, I gotta go.
Dwayne.
Work here. Hey,
have fun, Dwayne.
See you later.
I'll see everybody later. Nice to see everyone.
Kenny, the other guy was $5,000 cheaper.
$5,000 cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Well, you did mention earlier that you did trust me in the company, right?
Who knows what to do here?
If the other guy would, if we
There
were
you go.
both the same prices, who would you choose?
I'll choose you for sure.
Why?
Well, you guys, your showroom's awesome. You really showed me a lot about your product.
What else?
I like the guarantee a lot.
Guarantee?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, I just think overall you guys are a little bit better organization.
So you, with all that being said, I mean, you could see why I'd be a little bit more, wouldn't you?
Yeah, a little bit, but not 5,000 more.
1,000. So I mean, is there something that you wanted to take out?
All right, I'm going to pause for a second. I don't like takeaways. They want what they want. You know, sometimes it works because they go, no, I don't want to take anything out. But in this position, you kind of got me. Two things. Take the time to repeat back what I said. Don't just say with all that considered. Go, so we're a
like
better
this.
organization. We got a better guarantee. You like how we build things and you think the showroom's awesome.
So
you
you
would
expect-
expect us to be quite a bit more, wouldn't you?
Yes.
And I like quite a bit more, not a little bit more, because it can come off like, that's insulting to call $5,000 a little bit. If it's 1,000 or two, hey, this isn't the first time or last time it was a couple thousand more than you thought, right? But when it's 5,000, that's a lot of money to a lot of people. We have to be careful. We're in sales. We throw these numbers around all day long. Remember, the average income in America is like 100 grand for the family, a little less. So when you say, you know, I'll give you $2,000 off, you're talking a whole 40-hour work week for somebody. They spent 40 hours earning that and then got taxed 400 or 500 of it. And it's, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot for somebody. So when you give away that money, be sensitive to the fact that it's a lot of money, you know. But when you do that, so if we were both the same price, I first of all, empathize, you know, I get it. I mean, $5,000 is a lot of money. Not the first time I've heard that either. If we were the same price, which one of us would you hire?
You.
Why do you say that?
I like the guarantee.
Okay.
I like the load sport grid.
Load support grid. What else?
You know, your environment here.
Okay. So I'm reading him for when he's done with stuff, right? I can keep asking and he goes, that's about it. But I'm picking up, he's done figuring out stuff to list up. So you like my guarantee, you like the load support grid, and you like the environment that you're in. You would expect us to be quite a bit more, right?
Yeah, 5,000 is more than quite a bit.
Okay, so it's not about, and here's the next line. So it's not about whether or not I'm more, it's how much more, and whether or not I should be 5,000 more. Is that right?
That makes sense.
Okay, so based on that, what would you be hoping or expecting it to cost?
I would be hoping that I would like $3,000 less.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. I would. I'd do it if I could. Right? Now I just split my number in half, and now I got him negotiating over the other guy, which means the other guy is irrelevant at this point. Right? Okay. Parker, I just got to think about it for a couple days. I'll get back with you, what is it, Tuesday? Let's talk about Friday morning.
Just gotta think about it.
Yeah, you know, it's a big project, so.
I mean, you said you liked everything about it, though. You liked the design I came up with. You liked the company. And
So I'm going to stop you and have you do one thing, and then we'll just start right where you were. Empathy.
Yeah.
It feels like you're pushing me.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you even said. Yeah, I understand, Jason. It is a big purchase here.
Yep.
You know, lots going into it. But you did say you.
So when you are thinking about it,
Sure.
repeat my objection back. Because when you go, I get it. It's a huge project,
And
lot to
then,
think
yeah.
about. So when you are thinking about it, I'm still letting you think about it. I'm not trying to take your choice away. Hey, so when you are thinking, so I'm more likely to answer your questions.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
You know, I definitely understand, Jason. So when you are thinking about it, then you said you liked the design I came up with.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You like the company.
Yep.
You liked working with me as the point man. The guarantee.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want
absolutely.
it any other way, would you?
Nope.
Okay. So when you're thinking about it, it's really just coming down to if we can make the dollars make sense.
Yep.
Okay. No, Jason, how much were you hoping it would be? Like, where were you wanting it to be at?
All right, I'm gonna stop. Good, much better. No's are easier to get. In other words, were you thinking about whether or not my product's good enough for you? Now the customer goes, no, I think your product's great. It's easier for me to get no's in the close than to get a bunch of yeses.
Okay.
So same exact questions, just phrase them in a way that I can go, oh no, you're perfect. You know, was it about whether or not
So you're
I
not
do
deciding whether we're a good company or a good fit for you, right?
Oh, you guys would do great, I'm sure.
Okay. You're not like thinking about whether this is a good design.
No, the design's great.
Okay. And you're not like thinking if the guarantee's worth it or anything.
No, that's good.
Okay. So you like all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want any other way.
No.
Okay. So really, it's just coming down to making the dollars make sense.
Yeah. See how much more natural that is when he's asking me a no question instead of a yes question? It's easier for me to answer. I feel less pushed.
Sure.
Because if you go, well, you like the company, right?
Yeah.
And you like my guarantee,
yeah,
right?
It feels like forced.
It's you're making me say yes to something. You drink water, don't you? Yeah, I mean.
No.
Right, yeah, right. But so same
I
thing.
say,
All right, Ed. Yeah, I got a couple more guys coming out, and I'll get back with you.
You got a couple more guys?
Yep.
Yeah. I hear that a lot. I get that. I understand it's a big purchase.
Yeah, it is.
So, when we're sitting here today, you loved everything we talked about, right?
Yep.
You like the company.
Yeah.
You like me.
Yep.
You want to work with me, right?
Well, yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah. So.
So far, you're in first place.
We're in first place. Good.
So far.
Good. So.
You've set the bar really high, Ed. I'm going to tell your boss that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, price aside, when you're thinking about it, you'd like to, I totally hacked this one up. Why?
I don't know.
I don't know either. This was very easy.
You got a couple other quotes?
When you're getting the other
Perfect,
quotes.
I'll cancel.
Yeah, I
them.
can cancel them for you.
No, I got to do my due diligence.
Yeah, I get it. It's a big purchase.
Yeah.
So, but you like everything that you saw here.
Yeah, 100%.
You like the company.
Yep.
So, it really sounds like just making the dollars make sense here.
Yeah.
So, how much were you hoping to save? We're at 30,000 now.
I mean, I'm not sure. That's why I got the other guys coming out.
You said trust. Sorry, I'm
What's
just.
that?
I'm just.
So
I'm
really, he just hit a really
I hate this
important point.
rejection.
That's okay.
I don't get it.
There's a really good point that Cam just made.
Yeah.
If they fight you there continuously and they won't give you an answer, your customers don't trust you. If they trusted you, they would go, oh yeah, I was hoping to be 25. Even if you're at 42, they'll tell you the truth. But if they don't trust you, they try to hide it because they think as soon as you give them a number, you're going to go sold, and they're stuck. So if you get that a lot, work on finding, how do we build trust with customers?
Empathy.
Empathy is one.
A lot of it is knowing your people skills, how to meet their level of energy.
Try to be.
What's that? honesty. So
Listen.
it sounds really, really dumb. If you want people to trust you, be trustworthy. But it's true. And what I mean by that is find a way to tell them something they don't want to hear. They will trust you instantly. As soon as you're able to tell them a hard truth, they will trust you. If you start trying to tell them everything's going to be all right, it's all going to be good, and there's going to be guys playing the violin while they build your
There'll be
patio.
a rainbow.
Right. They're going to
A
be
unicorn will come drop off.
it's going to be all dopamine, and then they're going to freak out like a drug addict when you give them a price and they don't get what they want.
Right.
So you've got to create some of that up and down ebbs and flows, and so that's a huge thing. Another way to gain trust is to create closed commitment loops. Who can tell me, who can close a commitment loop real quick?
Depends on the loop that you're in.
Pick one.
They got me on the spot.
Which one do you like better? Guarantee or warranty?
Guaranteed.
Okay, what do you like best about it?
Well, I like the 4 years, no cost to me if anything goes wrong.
What else?
I have the assurance knowing that you guys will come out and do that.
So you're saying you like the fact that for 4 years, you don't have to worry about anything, you only got one call to make, and you get the peace of mind of going with a company like mine. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
Perfect. I understand him now, right? Do that a lot. Make them elaborate, because people will give you answers that they think you want to hear, right? Oh, what do you think of this? Oh, that's great. Cool. What's this going to do for your project? Oh, it's going to make it way better. You realize they're only talking to you in platitudes because they know that that's what you want to hear. So now you force them to answer a real answer. Well, better how? Right? Oh, well, I think you guys are going to, and now they're on the spot, but that's okay, because better how gets you a real answer. And then when you close the loop by repeating back what they just said in their own words, or in your own words.
And also by saying that, they're justifying to themselves what the purchase.
Exactly. So which one do you like better? I like the guarantee. Why do you say that? Or what do you like best about it? Over and over again. And especially when we're dealing with what archetypes?
Engineer.
The engineer, yeah, be careful though.
Yes, guy.
The yes guy, right.
Yeah.
The Mr. Nice guy, the one that you think is going perfectly the whole time, and then you get to the end and they're like, oh, I'll call you next week, and you can't get them off it. Those elaboration questions are the key to them and the wimp archetype. The wimp, the one that stares at the ground and doesn't want to make eye contact. Getting them to elaborate on their answers, because both of those personalities give you whatever they think you want to hear at the time, right? What do you like best about it? And then they're going to try really, I like that it's 4 years, right? So I ask another question. Well, okay, what does it do for the 4 years? I'm going to dig until I find a real answer from them, not what I want to hear from them. Does that make sense? All right, so for today, I want you guys to take that with you, the commitment loops. Great job today. Work on the less talking, more engagement. So what's your talk ratio? If I can get them to be talking 40 to 60% of the time when I'm pitching, I'm winning. If I'm talking more than that, if you feel yourself ever gathering your breath in the middle of your pitch, you're talking too much. So if you notice yourself talking too much, what do?
Ask questions.
Immediately. And then what?
Then have them elaborate.
Exactly. Ask the question, have them elaborate, because now they're talking more than you're talking.
Very true.
That's what I got for you guys today.
Good job.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Absolutely.
One, I don't want any of you guys coming to my house because I'd buy a patio from all of you.
What is that,
Everything was so smooth.
You get 10% referral fee.
How long have you guys been training in this? Because I want to tell you, it was I was impressed not only the training, but just how you guys were responding, the smoothness, the confidence in the pitch. You didn't seem like salesmen to me. we still have some salesmen. Hey, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
You guys see, it just seemed like it was a
I think-
natural conversation. How long have you been doing this?
The honest, well, he started. I mean,
Because we've been
several
years. Yeah.
4 years, 5 years, I don't know, it's been a while, but I think Cam, you've been here,
This is my third year.
and this is his second, but he hasn't done a lot of showrooms like you just saw, he's done a lot of repairs and maintenance to date, so this was,
And his sale ratio is really good
yeah,
outside.
and this was one of his first times actually going through this with us.
I was gonna buy it, and I don't even know who you are.
I do think a part of it. Too
I bought
is
from you guys.
That we
I
have
did too.
him, Jason, to actually guide us through an actual, like, I'll say a base because there's a million microscripts that you can go off of what we use up here. But then I think on top of that is at the end of the day, we truly do believe we are the best. And at the end of the day, we all come in here every day pretty much and still hang out and we're
Yeah,
friends.
put that down.
So a lot of it is that we truly do have fun here and believe in it. So when we're talking to the client, it's like we are talking to them because like sometimes you pull away from the pitch and it's like, listen, John, like all jokes aside, I would never work at this company if I didn't truly believe in it. I'm a 26-year-old man. I went to college and got a career job with 401k the whole nine, but I truly believe in what we do, and I wouldn't put my back on it if I didn't believe it. And when you can actually do that, people are like,
In a lot of sales environments too, it's like, me. You know, it's competitive, right? But with us, it's like we
Treat
truly like, hey, what's that project? How can I help you out with it? It's a team effort for sure.
yeah, there's no real. I mean, there's friendly competition. We jokingly
Yeah.
do like a shark at the month, and you wear like a WWE belt, and it's a joke. But that's like the only. Otherwise, it's like, hey, dude, you got a quote? Hope you get it. Kill it.
Right.
Whichever way I
Me
can
as
help.
my first year, this past year, I mean, every one of them, if I ever had questions of like, hey, how do I overcome this objection, or like, how should I price this, or what could I do different? I mean, my background is sales, and I've worked in the environment of sales where it's like you don't talk to anyone else. Like it's your own metrics, and you're up against everyone else. That's completely different here.
How about I had a question on the pitch book. Was that the pitch book that I saw initially up here?
Oh,
Steve
Steve has
just-
something to
I
say.
had you muted, Steve.
No, I
Did you-
just want to let you know I was the shark last month. Just
That was the company, that's unfair.
Yeah, January.
In January.
Yeah.
So was that the pitch book, Steve, that they went through with all the?
take it, though.
And does
Yeah,
everybody use
that's
that?
the pitch
That's
book. Yep.
spectacular.
So, yeah, we created that
And
a few
everybody
years ago.
uses it, so you know when they get in the home exactly what they're doing. Because one of the questions that Joe and I have, or I have when we talk about it, once they leave, we don't really know what they're doing in the home.
Right.
So we've talked about the pitch book to get that continuity, consistency, at least through the first part, and I was timing it through the first 20 or 30 minutes of the
And
of
for
the
you guys too,
presentation.
I think your pitch is 20 to 25 minutes.
Well, I
I don't
time
think
it,
it's
yeah.
2 hours. Like these guys are here,
Yeah,
they
hour and
get
a
somebody in hour and a half, 2 hours, because it's a $30,000, $40,000 price tag a lot of times. That,
The
but
details you have to.
for you guys, I think
20, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
I
pitch
don't know
itself is like
what
30 to
I'd have to
40.
learn about selecting carpet, but
Well, we think it's about we like to see an hour. A little over
right
an hour.
there, total time there,
Well,
right?
because we're doing the same
Yeah.
thing. We're selling.
Measuring.
We want to create a friend. Sell the company, sell the product. Go through the four loves. It's almost the same thing.
Yeah. Right.
But I just love that pitch book because I knew when they were in the home exactly how they were starting that relationship. Now then it varies off based on the project and what the product and whatnot. But
It's a
it
good
was
base
great.
for
It
sure.
was great. Wow. Yeah, this was worth getting up at 4 o'clock. in the morning.
Well, we're here every Tuesday, so.
And literally, you're welcome every week. I don't.
And, this is just for installations too. We've got maintenance, we've got.
Well, that's the thing. We have a
repairs
basis
and-
to work off of, and then you can, based on the client, you can kind of tweak it. And,
Right. Like I never. Sorry.
And Jason will back it up. This is truly to help you get your commitment. So when you get to the point of conversation of the price, the only commitment to ever talk about is the price. So there's times where you come into a showroom, and when you were at the House Ready for Us, for example, they were blasting me about all these independent contractors. So like that commitment, that now that pitch slide only takes 30 seconds because like, hey, you already told me at the house, you wouldn't want to know Joe Schmo coming to your stuff and work. Absolutely not. Cool. So we go to the next thing. So sometimes they give you that commitment and you can speed it up. That's why I say it's a good base because every client's going to need a different commitment at a harsher level. So
He also mentioned a term from our vocabulary, microscripts.
yeah.
So a microscript is a 30 second to a minute 30 little script and they're all interchangeable. So I could know 19 microscripts for the same part of the pitch. I don't script the pitch, I script the idea, and then you take the idea and you create microscripts. I know one would be, hey, Parker, I'm here on a job interview, and I would use this one at a repair. I'm here on a job interview, so my job is to show you why I'm the right guy for the job, why we're the right company, and if you agree, I'll ask you to hire me today, and if you don't, listen, do the smart thing and just tell me no. Fair enough? Cool.
Yeah, something like, oh, I got to talk to my wife, and you're ha ha ha. Yeah, I get that, but if she was here, no questions asked, would you continue if she said yes? Well, sure. Hey, sometimes better ask for permission than forgiveness. Like we laugh about. There's so many different microscripts that you work with, and like Jason said, once you get comfortable knowing like everything, then you're just conversating with the people, so it doesn't seem robotic.
When you understand the purpose of each slide, then you can really master it. That's what Cam's saying. Like if sometimes, like he said, you go to the house, they're like, you guys don't subcontract, do you? No. Perfect, because I won't hire anybody that does. When they get back here, I'm going to go, you guys didn't want any subcontractors, right? Cool. I don't need to go into that. You know, and I realize that's a selling point here, and it's not for other people, 100%.
We have our situation. We run certified installation crews.
Right.
Which
Cool.
is different than
And we
the
can
truck
and we can create a whole pitch page
One of
about
the things
that.
I did like also was the attitude that, and we talk about this all the time. I don't understand how a customer comes on to a website or gives us a call, invites us to our home, and then says, "I'm thinking about it." You made a comment saying, "Hey, why feel guilty about selling her? You asked me to come here
Right.
to sell you." And
It's
I
our
think
my moral
sometimes we
obligation.
get into the situation where we feel like, okay, we're intruding. So
Right.
we don't say, no, you asked me to
Like
come
you
here.
called them
You
during
called me.
dinner time and interrupted
Yeah.
as a telemarketer. You're
Right.
not that. You're an invited guest. And here's the thing too, and I talk about this like in day one. It's been a long time for you guys, but one of the things I teach in day one is you're the only variable in their life when you get to their house. If you're doing in-home sales, they're watching the same TV, eating the same food with the same people on the same couch at the same table, whatever, when you get there. You're the only difference. So if you're the difference, you have influence. And you have to walk in like I have influence, not walk in like I'm begging them to allow me to come in and give them a price. I'm the one that has what they want.
You're the prize.
I have the influence, right? Oren Klaff talks about that in his book. So
Listen, the answer is no. I'll take it. Gracious, yes. I know what I'm
Now,
worth.
we guys go on appointments today? You do have-
I have one.
The winter's slower, obviously, with the snowfall, but I have one today for a repair. But
What's your average close, just out of curiosity?
what percentage?
No, how many,
price?
how many do you close? If you go on 10, do you close 5?
Oh,
I think
if we get
everybody's-
them back here, it's over 50%.
I would say if they're in the showroom, and I mean this realistically, and I'm not gonna speak for everybody, but I would say if they're here, 80%.
This is unbelievable.
Because once you
We've
get
seen
them here, the
that.
thing is it's so much different. Because one, I already went to the house, so I already created a rapport, and then for you to drive 30 minutes to come meet me here, you're already halfway there. So the fact
And they
that
see
you're right
this
here,
and they're
then
like,
you see
"Oh."
this, and it's improved even more. Then the price becomes so much easier. And then to see like we'll start walking through purposely and be, oh, this is the other one. Oh, this is Dean. Hey, Dina's come say hi. And you get an info like one of the crew members walking. Oh, this is actually one of the crews. He could actually possibly be doing her job. It makes it so simplified that
there's such a differentiating factor.
it's so hard to say no here.
You know.
Yeah, I had a small patio put in during COVID. Cost me a lot of money. It was really done shitty. And it's probably trucking.
That's what we're trying to avoid.
You got 2 appointments today, got another.
I'll give my
Jesus
testimony.
Christ.
Seriously, I had these guys do a patio for me, and it started out I was going to put a little pad at the bottom of the steps from my deck because it kept getting muddy at the bottom. But then I'm like, why don't we just put in a patio? And we ended up doing like I think 12 by 14, just rectangle with a fire pit. We love it, by the way. But these guys, they told me they'd be at my house at 9. At 8:59, a truck pulls up. At 8:15, they got dirt, and a truck pulls up to take the dirt. Like literally, as the dirt's coming out of my backyard, the truck's pulling up to get the dirt from my yard and goes. The guys are in the yard with rakes, raking the grass back up where the plywood is. My whole neighborhood's watching this happen. I'm like, if anybody does a patio in my neighborhood, there's no way they don't call these guys, right? And I always say that too, like, if you're install process makes the neighbors go, hey, I like having those guys around. You're winning. If they're like, when are these clowns going to be out of my neighborhood? You're losing.
Yeah, they
right?
keep the job site so orderly.
Oh, it's unbelievably.
The cleanliness is a huge part, and like,
Constantly cleaning.
people will say that as well.
We get the most compliments. on
They
that.
sprayed the
So
street
the
down
fact
where the
that
bricks
I had
were.
a ton of dirt in my driveway for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that-
Listen, they
that-
sprayed the street
Same
down
day, really.
before they left, where the bricks were sitting. Like literally cleaned it before they left. Like I was like, this is what it should
We
be.
had one job where, we sprayed all the dirt and everything towards the end of the year, and a lot of it went down the sewer drain.
I don't know who did that.
No, but
Was it
we
Steve? I
didn't,
swear.
but that's the thing, we recognized that, and Steve called me, because I think we're gonna have a problem, I said, what did you do? And he told me, he says, and I said, okay, we immediately got hold of a company that extracted all of that. We don't have to be asked, we recognize, construction is construction.
Yeah,
There are things that are going to happen, but we don't wait for the client to say, hey, you did this. If one of us have done something, whether it's one of our guys on the site, whatever it may be, issue with the permit, we're already ahead of it, and letting the client know, we noticed this, we're taking care of it, we're sorry for any inconvenience, but we will take care of it. And that's just our mindset, that's how we move. And, that's what
Awesome.
keeps clients coming back and
Yeah.
referring us.
One thing I like to
Biggest
do
problem
when the project is going on is just kind of hit the neighbors up. Hey, we're going to be in the neighborhood. You might notice some, dust or whatever. Apologize about the inconvenience, but that also kind of gives them an introduction to us as well.
Yeah.
Like,
My sales guys have a "Don't Mind the Noise" flyer, and they knock on the 4 doors. So the 2 across the street and the 2 next, and they knock and they go, "Hey, I just want to let you know we're doing a job for John and Betty next door. Don't need anything from you, but here's my card. If there's any noise, anybody parks in the way, just let us know." And we get business from that because they remember that really nice kid who came by and said nothing, didn't try to sell them something, just wanted to give them a flyer.
And where ours is full exterior exposure, so neighbors are always watching us,
Always.
municipalities are always watching us, where yours is interior. So
Yeah, mine is
the
too.
impact is in the home for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, great.
Thank you, everybody,
Thank
for your
you
time
very,
today.
very much.
Thank
This
you.
was-
Thank you.
This was well.
Come again.
Well worth it, yeah.
Seriously, more the merrier here.
Do you have a